6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister has gone to the United Arab Emirates for a two-day official visit to participate in the World Government's Summit in Dubai. The Planning Minister has said Pakistan's economy has entered in the takeoff stage. The Aman dialogue organized by the Pakistan Navy concluded in Karachi today. Israeli forces have martyred 4 Palestinians in eastern areas of the Gaza city. New Zealand have qualified for the final, defeating South Africa by 6 wickets in the second match of the Tri-Nation One-Day International Cricket Series in Lahore. And now the news in detail. The Prime Minister Mohammed Shahbaz Sharif has departed for a 2-day official visit to the United Arab Emirates to participate in the World Government's Summit in Dubai. The summit will bring together a large number of heads of state and government, global policy makers, and leading private sector figures to discuss the future of governance, innovation, and international cooperation. The Prime Minister is accompanied by a high-level delegation, including Deputy Prime Minister Mohammad Ishaq Dar and other key members of the cabinet, reflecting Pakistan's strong commitment to deepening its engagement with the United Arab Emirates and other global partners. During his visit, the Prime Minister will deliver a keynote address at the summit in which he will highlight Pakistan's vision for inclusive economic growth, digital transformation, and governance reforms. He will also hold bilateral meetings with the United Arab Emirates leadership, as well as engage with heads of state and government from participating countries and leading chief executive officers of major multinational companies. The Deputy Prime Minister Mohammad Ishaq Dar and the Malaysian Foreign Minister Datu Seri Osama Haji Muhammad bin Haji Hassan discussed the recent situation in the Middle East region, particularly the humanitarian situation in Gaza. During a telephonic conversation, the Deputy Prime Minister expressed Pakistan's steadfast support for the Palestinian people and their just cause. He also conveyed Pakistan's support for the convening of an extraordinary OIC meeting of the Council of Foreign Ministers to discuss the urgent issue. The Federal Minister for Planning and Development, Ahsan Iqbal, has said Pakistan's economy has entered in the takeoff stage. He was addressing the 3-day Directors Training Program under the state-owned enterprise at the National School of Public Policy in Lahore today. He said credit of economic improvement goes to the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Mohammed Shahbaz Sharif. Ahsan Iqbal said during the last 1 year, inflation has decreased from 38% to 4%, and the bank interest rate lowered from 22% to 12%. He said exports have grown while remittances increased. He said China supported Pakistan economically when no country was ready to invest in Pakistan. He said due to irresponsible statements by the former Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf government, the CPAC project suffered huge setbacks. The minister said we should be prepared to achieve economic goals to become a developed country by the year 2047. The concluding ceremony of Aman dialogue in an ongoing 5-day naval exercise Aman 25 organized by the Pakistan Navy was held in Karachi today. The Federal Minister for Planning, Ahsan Iqbal, was the chief guest of the ceremony. Addressing the ceremony, Ahsan Iqbal commended the holding of Aman Dialogue for Maritime Security and said it is a good platform for getting benefit from mutual experiences. He highlighted that the region is facing multiple challenges along with climate change. The minister stated that the maritime sector can play a significant role in achieving consistent progress and underlined the promotion of maritime trade for progress and prosperity. Deputy Chief of the Pakistan Naval Staff Operations, Vice Admiral Raja Rabnawaz, said maritime security is essential for future progress. He called for joint efforts and collaboration to meet the current challenges, especially human and arms smuggling. The Naval Chief of Bangladesh, Admiral Nazamul Hassan, Fleet Commander, Australian Navy Rear Admiral Christopher Smith, and renowned maritime expert Dr. Christian Bogar also addressed the ceremony. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. The coordinator to the Prime Minister on climate change, Romina Khurshid Alam, has said Pakistan is actively working with international partners to mobilize resources on climate-resilient infrastructure. Addressing an event today, she emphasized that multilateral cooperation is essential in tackling global challenges such as climate change and disaster management. Romina Khurshid Alam expressed the government's commitment to mitigate the impact of climate change and enhancing adaptation efforts. She said Pakistan has developed its national adaptation plan with a focus on strengthening resilience in key sectors such as water, agriculture, and disaster management. She said Living Indus initiative is another key program that aims at restoring the ecological health of the Indus Basin. The acting President Syed Yusuf Raza Gilani has summoned the session of the Senate on Thursday. The session will be held at the Parliament House in Islamabad on Thursday at 4 in the afternoon. Kashmiris on both sides of the line of control and worldwide will observe the 41st martyrdom anniversary of prominent martyred Kashmiri leader Mohammad Maqbool Bhatt tomorrow. The All Parties Hurriyat Conference and other pro-freedom leaders and organizations have announced a complete shutdown tomorrow in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. India had secretly hanged and buried Mohammad Maqbool Bhatt in New Delhi's Tihar jail on the 11th of February 1984 for his leading role in raising the Kashmiris' inalienable right to self-determination demand. Jammu and Kashmir Democratic Freedom Party spokesman Advocate Arshad Iqbal, in a statement issued in Srinagar while paying rich tributes to Mohammad Maqbool Bhatt, said the martyred leader was an icon of resistance movement who sacrificed his life for the noble cause of freedom from the Indian occupation. He termed the execution of Maqbool Bhatt as a judicial murder, saying the so-called democratic state India violated the fundamentals of the justice system by denying him the right to a fair trial. The Israeli forces have martyred 4 Palestinians in eastern areas of Gaza City. Gaza's government media office says at least 61,710 people have so far been martyred. Meanwhile, the Israeli army has expanded its assaults in the occupied West Bank. American President Donald Trump is expected to unveil a fresh plan of tariffs this week, including 25% on all steel and aluminum imports. The American president also says he is planning to impose reciprocal tariffs on countries currently taxing American imports. Canada and Mexico are two of the United States' biggest steel trading partners, and Canada is the biggest supplier of aluminum to the United States. And now cricket. New Zealand qualified for the final, defeating South Africa by 6 wickets in the second match of the Tri-Nation One-Day International Series in Lahore today. Batting first, South Africa scored 304 runs for the loss of 6 wickets in the stipulated 50 overs. In reply, New Zealand achieved the victory target in 48.4 overs for the loss of 4 wickets. And finally, the weather report. Cold and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, cloudy weather with rain and light snowfall is likely at isolated places in upper and central Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, northeast Balochistan, Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.